Hello everyone, welcome to another Watcher of Realms video from Infernum. In this one we're going to have a guide on single target arena, and let me tell you, it's quite a good one. We managed to climb pretty high in the ranking, so for sure that will help you get to Apex if you have the necessary units. Now, I don't really want to waste much of your time, but before that I have one important mention. So, here we are going to have a first part where we do our auto. Then, immediately after, just for round 9, we have a different ending. So there are two approaches to round 9. One of them is more consistent, more safe, and the other one is more risky, more aggressive, so to speak. I already did quite a few of tests on this, and I think the risky approach, the more aggressive one, it's better. It didn't happen as often to have problems with Sergei dying as I would have expected. So, in my opinion, you should run the risky approach, but in the end, it's up to you. You're gonna see in the test results. Both of them are equally valid and both of them have merit. So, let's get right into it. Before that, remember to like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know your thoughts in the comment, that really helps a lot. And let's see it. Okay, so let's get right into the friendly face-off and remake our auto. As you can see, Bogdan's team is pretty beefy, 642k. He has an A3 Durza, which honestly is amazing. All of Durza's Awakening are amazing, but at least A1 for this one is going to help you quite a lot. I don't have that, but it still works at A0. So we're starting off with Sergei at 14. And I decided to ult with him as soon as he is ready. Bogdan waits a little with him because technically the lower he gets, the more damage will do with his ultimate, but I think in this case the Hell's Lament buff outweighs the chaotic buff. So yeah. Alright, both of us finished the round fairly early. I did do a little better on this one. Okay, now here this is Sergei's range obviously, and as soon as you see this mob getting into his range, we are going to use his ultimate, and then we are going to click him again to make sure that we can place Dracula exactly at 13. And now we are going to use again Sergei's ultimate, and usually two ultimates and the basic attack will take care of this mob, unless you have an A2 Sergei, or even higher. If you have him higher, he might completely one-shot it. Okay, third round is starting. We are using Dracula's ultimate as soon as this mob leaves the portal, so maybe he does like 1 or 2 steps. Here we have a retaliation strike, I think it's called, from Sergei. Because he was about to die, so he decided to use his life save mechanic. Okay, now we place Durza at 10. Why do we face him right? This is quite simple. First of all, my Durza is only A0, and I actually want him to basic attack a little. He's not going to do that a lot, but he only has one tile to hit, where the mobs are passing through the portal towards Sergei. But the biggest advantage would be that Dracula actually gets the Wings of Grace buff, otherwise it would go to Sergei because Sergei has higher base stats. And the third point is Durza actually applies the damage reduction to anyone in his ultimate range. So in this case, this is the ultimate range, so Sergei is not impacted in any way by this. So for the fourth round, we are going to use Durza's ultimate as soon as it's ready. And next up, we are going to click Dracula. So here we are not going to do anything. We are just going to wait for Dracula to clear the first mob. And whenever the first mob is died, use Sergei's ultimate to close off the round. Next up, we're going to have Gretchen at 18. Round 5 is a fairly tricky one because we don't have Durza anymore, and also we are not going to use Gretchen for this one at all. We want to use Gretchen whenever she has 5 stacks, and even if she would get 5 stacks in this round, we don't want to use her. What we want to do is use Sergei's ultimate once on this mob. And next up, we are going to use Dracula as soon as he's ready. And whenever this mob is dead, so let's slow down a bit, we are going to use Sergei. Uh, Ideally, if you want, you could like wait 1 second on the clock for Sergei. This way your auto would be fairly more consistent in the sense that sometimes it could happen that the first mob doesn't die as quickly as it did when you made the auto, and Sergei would actually use his ultimate on the first mob, which is not great. But still, uh, on this BP, I think it's pretty good. Now, at 13 we are going to place Jezebel, and now we are ulting with Gretchen as soon as the round starts. So basically when you say the next wave text on the middle of the screen, use Gretchen's ultimate. Let's place Jezebel also, and again we are going to use Durza as soon as he's ready. If you have him A1, he might come back a little sooner, but that doesn't change much for us. Now, we are using Dracula again as soon as he's ready. Make sure to not use him sooner than, if for some reason he comes back sooner, use him when this second mob is around here. This way his ultimate would last also throughout the first round of round 7. Now, for the last mob we are using Jezebel, and we are spam clicking Sergei to get his ultimate off. In this case we lose it. It's a bit of RNG who clicks Sergei faster, so to speak, but that's completely fine. Alright, for Gretchen, ideally we would want to use her on this wave, when the second mob is around here, but we don't have the full stack, so we are going to wait a little with her. Now the second mob, I mean this is the third mob is appearing, so we want to use Dracula's ultimate, we also want to use Gretchen, we also want to use Durza, and this should take care of everything. And for the last one, we want to use Jezebel, and again use Sergei whenever he's ready. Now we did lose again on this one, but again it's just a little RNG on whoever is faster. Also his Durza is higher, so the inspiration boost is higher, but this should still be a fairly good auto. So I think Bogdan is somewhere in the top 50 or top 30, something crazy like that. So don't worry much about not making it Apex for those small things. Now we did kill the first mob. Here we want to use Dracula as the third mob gets close to Sergei. So right around this time. We are also going to use Jezebel's ultimate here. We are using Durza. We are using Gretchen. And we are gonna close off the round with Sergei, so let's spam him. Okay, on this one we managed to grab the win. As I said, it's a bit of RNG who gets to attack faster, basically. But those are the timings, and as long as you do those, you should be good to go. Now, we want to use Dracula on this one. Having Jezebel as a lord allows us to use his ultimate twice this round. So that's going to be just great for us because we don't have to worry about the mobs piling up in front of Sergei. The third mob is dead. We are gonna wait a second here. Use Durza. Now, when you see the fifth mob appearing, we want to use Jezebel's ultimate. We want to use Gretchen as soon as she's ready to help a little with those two. And now when Dracula is back, use his ultimate, and also we are going to use Sergei here. So right around now. We are a little slower on this one, but it's just one tick. I found it like this to be more consistent in the sense that you're not worrying about getting overrun. Now, again, we are at round 8, so I'm gonna try and demonstrate the last round using Dracula's ultimate later, because the way I used it kinda made it so Sergei, so you kind of always lost it. So to speak, it was more of a safety approach rather than a full DPS approach. So let's use Sergei's ultimate on the first mob. Let's do 1x. So as you can see here, we kind of need to wait. We don't have anyone to use the ultimate with. Now, we should wait a second for Durza also to make sure he lasts throughout the round, so right around here. And now when this mob is around here, we want to use Dracula, we want to use Gretchen, we can also use Jezebelle. Now we can use Sergei on the last one. Oh, that wasn't the last one, that was next to last, but we can still again use Sergei on the last one. So let's spam him. And this way you kind of make sure that you have a better shot at winning it. It's up to you which one you choose. I think both approaches are valid, and I think I would lean towards more consistency than trying to win every single round. Alright, we are at the end of the video. As you can see guys, this auto is amazing. We got to top 50 without much of an issue. We were somewhere in the neighborhood of low apex, towards the bottom of apex when we started the climb. And now without much effort at all, I didn't stop any fight, I didn't took over manually any fight, we are in the top 50. So let's look at the result and discuss a little here. As you can see, we have quite a lot of wins. But we did lose one. And keep in mind, those wins are against tough teams. Like here we have an A4 Sergei, and we have people that overall are from good guilds like Royal Dragons, Conetes, Rage, and so on. So keep that in mind. On this one, we actually lost because in round 9 Sergei died. As I said, there is a more consistent approach and there is a riskier approach, so to speak. And keep in mind, on all of them, or almost all of them, we had quite a hefty lead in round 9, so we totally could have afforded to lose it. In this one, for sure, we had like 30 or 40% ahead, so we just lost by playing risky. It's up to you in the end which you choose, but I did went for the more aggressive approach just to test it, and honestly, if it happens, it seems to happen less often. So it's not that crazy, it's not that consistent that it is something that you need to worry about, but keep in mind it will happen. Now, on this one, somehow my Sergei died in round 3. I don't get it, I didn't even bother to check it. I think it's a little of, there is a little RNG with the way his stacks work. And the first one that I actually tried, and here I was a bit depressed, I thought this auto is so bad, is this team. And here actually we lost because somehow Citra teams are really slow on round 6. And if they are slow, our Dracula finishes the ultimate and we don't have anything to kill the first mob in the 7th round, and this is how it lost. Now that being said, it's not all Citra team. For example, this one we managed to beat. So if the awakenings are lower, you can also attack Citra teams, but for the most part I would say that you should focus on teams like on the normal chaotic teams, either with Sergei, either with Gretchen, whichever variation you like, the auto should be good against that. Now let's get right into the gear. So defense team. Alright, let's start with the most important one, Dracula. Dracula needs to have your top tier gear, so as you can see we have unstoppable force on him, and we also have a chaos ring. Obviously he's exclusive. Sergei, again, the second best gear on our account should be on Sergei. So another chaos exclusive, another unstoppable force, and those are the only two that I have on the account for now. I would love to have put one on Gretchen also, but it is what it is. We went with the Talisman of Resolve because this gives him the biggest damage boost, since he almost always has a shield. So I think this is the best. Third gear on Gretchen. So for her again we went with Hell's Lament, and we have an Infernal Blast exclusive. Now we don't have any more unstoppable forces, but I had this pretty nice aggression piece. And for the artifact Shattered Hilt, now Durza. With Durza I literally put the outchance set on him. I didn't worry about anything else. If you can get his speed a little higher and his rage gen a little higher, that should definitely help, but as you can see, those are the stats that you should focus on. So he is total like 18k attack, and if you can get similar stats with mine, that would be great. If you can get higher, that would be awesome. For artifact I went with the Tear of Twilight, despite the fact that he's low and he loses part of the percentage because his HP is below 80%. It doesn't matter that much, seems to still be one of his best. Now lastly I want to talk about Jezebelle. She is in Hell's Lament. I didn't have any more Chaos exclusives. Triple attack with some attacks with peace. Honestly, her gear doesn't matter at all. But I did try running her in stuff like here. I wanted to put an immovable object. I thought, well, maybe that helps. Honestly, if it did, I didn't see it. The difference was so minimal that it doesn't matter. I also tried to put a speed amulet on her because technically with more speed she would get more Seeds of Malice out, and whenever you apply Seeds of Malice, it inflicts vulnerability. This again wasn't the case. I didn't notice any major improvements, if any at all, so I decided to just run her in normal DPS set. If you don't have Hell's Lament, don't even bother about it, because indeed it requires quite a lot of Hell's Laments. So I would just go for any set that you have. Soulbound is good, anything is good. Anything apart Cataclysm, and I don't know about Infernal Roar. Probably her ultimate damage is lower with Infernal Roar, but it doesn't matter. Hell's Lament, Soulbound, you should be good. And that's pretty much the team. Now, if you enjoyed this one, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.